6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Sumaira Kawal. The headlines first. Caretaker Prime Minister has reiterated government's firm resolve to wipe out menace of terrorism from the country. UN Secretary General has condemned terrorist attacks in Mastung and Hangu. Caretaker Minister for Health Services says the government is taking effective measures to control outbreak of viral diseases in the country. Indian troops, in their fresh act of state terrorism, martyred 2 more Kashmiri youth in a fake encounter in Machal area of Kupwara district today. Hundreds of Sikh activists have staged demonstrations outside the Golden Temple in Amritsar, demanding punishment for killers of Sikh activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Pakistan won silver medal in squash event of 19 Asian Games at Hangzhou, China today. And now the news in detail. Caretaker Prime Minister Anwarul Haq Kakar has reiterated government's firm resolve to wipe out the menace of terrorism. He stated this during a telephone call received from Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs of United Kingdom, James Cleverly, today. The UK Foreign Secretary James Cleverly condemned terrorist attacks in Mastung and Hangu and condoled the loss of innocent lives. He expressed solidarity with families of victims and hoped for speedy recovery of those injured. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has condemned terrorist attacks in Mastung and Hangu and called for bringing the people responsible to justice. Speaking at the regular briefing in UN headquarters in New York, UN chief spokesperson Stefan Dujarric said that these killings took place during peaceful religious ceremonies makes them even more heinous. The UN Security Council has also strongly condemned the heinous and cowardly terrorist attacks in Mastung and Hangu. According to a press statement issued by Security Council President Farid Hosha, the members of Security Council expressed their deepest sympathy and condolences to the families of the victims and Pakistan. The Security Council reaffirmed that terrorism in all its forms and manifestations constitutes one of the most serious threats to international peace and security. President Dr. Arif Alvi held telephonic conversation with the families of the security personnel martyred in terrorist attacks in Wali Tang Post, Balochistan, Warsak Road, Peshawar and Mir Ali area of North Waziristan. He said and paid glowing tributes to the martyrs. Commiserating with the bereaved families, the President prayed to God Almighty to grant high status to the martyrs. Caretaker Interior Minister Mir Sarfaraz Bukti has said that the government has adopted zero-tolerance policy against terrorism. Addressing a news conference in Quetta today, he said that anti-state elements are supporting terrorists in the country. He said that complete and comprehensive investigations are underway to track responses of the terrorism. Sarfaraz Bukti said that stern action against terrorism and saboteurs will continue till the enforcement of writ of the state. He further said that entire nation stands united against miscreants and terrorists. The United States says it looks forward to free and fair elections in Pakistan. Addressing a news conference in briefing in Washington, the U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller pointed out the United States has repeatedly rejected allegations about regime change in Pakistan. He said that the United States sees Pakistan as a valued partner with whom it works on a number of issues. It further said that the policy hasn't changed and it will not change. About the murder of a Sikh leader in Canada, the spokesperson said that the U.S. has consistently engaged with the Indian government on this question and urged New Delhi to cooperate with the Canadian investigation. Caretaker Minister for Health Services Dr. Nadeem Jan has said that the government is taking effective measures to control an outbreak of viral diseases in the country. Talking to a private news channel, he said that the government-run hospitals are put on alert to deal with cases of pink eye infections and vector-borne diseases like dengue virus. Besides, a committee of experts has also been constituted to look into the matter seriously. The minister warned the public to remain vigilant against the spread of viral infections and advised to maintain good hygiene, which includes washing hands and avoiding touching eyes with bare or unwashed hands. Replying to a question, he said special dengue counters have been established in hospitals to provide the best treatment to the patients. This is Radio Pakistan. Indian troops, in their fresh act of state terrorism, martyred 2 more Kashmiri youth in a fake encounter in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir today. The troops martyred the youth during a so-called cordon and search operation in Machal area of Kupwara district. The troops also continued their violent military operations in different areas of Baramulla, Bandipora, Pulwama, Shopian, Kulgam, Islamabad, Kishtawar, Rajouri, Kathua, Riyasi and districts. The Indian troops, as parts of their nefarious practice to defame Pakistan and malign the Kashmiris' freedom movement, pick up innocent Kashmiri youths, take them to far-off areas, eliminate them in staged encounters, and then label them as foreign militants. The Patribal fake encounter, Machal fake encounter, and Amshipura fake encounters are glaring examples of this phenomenon. In a message from New Delhi's notorious Tihar jail, the illegally detained All-Party Hurriyat Conference chairman Musarrat Alam Butt expressed serious concern over the atmosphere of terror and fear created by India in occupied Kashmir. He urged the UN to impress upon New Delhi to stop human rights abuses in the occupied territory. Meanwhile, India's dreaded National Investigation Agency conducted house raids at multiple places in Poonch district of Jammu region. The NIA sleuths during the raids harassed the residents. Hundreds of Sikh activists have staged a demonstration outside the Golden Temple in Amritsar demanding punishment for the killers of a Sikh activist, Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Hardeep Singh Nijjar was killed by India's intelligence agents in Canada. Holding posters of Nijjar, the protesters chanted slogans asking Indian government to stop extrajudicial operations against Sikhs seeking Punjab as an independent state of Khalistan. Relations between India and Canada have become more tense as Indian Foreign Minister Subrahman Jaishankar has alleged Canadian government for creating climate of violence and an atmosphere of intimidation against Indian diplomats in Canada. Talking to reporters in Washington, Indian Foreign Minister said the presence of Sikh Khalistan Freedom Movement members in Canada has frustrated New Delhi. Canada's Foreign Ministry did not immediately respond to a request for the comment. Israeli army has martyred a Palestinian man in the West Bank city of Al-Birain. The Palestinian security sources said that the Israeli army fired live bullets at 2 young men at the entrance to Sagot settlement in the occupied West Bank city of Al-Birain. In a statement, Palestinian Ministry of Health said on the person died due to serious injuries while another man was slightly injured in the incident. China and Saudi Arabia will hold Joint Naval Special Operations Training named Blue Sword from next month in South China's Guangdong province. Addressing a press briefing, in spokesperson for China's Ministry of National Defense Senior Colonel said that joint training will focus on overseas maritime counter-terrorism operations. In Maldives, the second round of presidential election held today after no candidate secured more than 50% of votes in the first round to win outright. The runoff election contested between incumbent President Ibrahim Mohammed Soleh and Maldivian Democratic Party and People's National Congress candidate Mohammad Moizu. Voting started at 8 a.m. and concluded at 5 p.m. Pakistan has won the silver medal in the squash event of the 19th Asian Games at Hangzhou, China today. Pakistan performed brilliantly throughout the tournament but fell short in the final and could secure a silver medal as India beat Pakistan by 2-1 in the final event. And finally, the weather. Dry weather is likely to prevail over most parts of the country while hot in southern parts during the next 12 hours. However, partly cloudy weather is likely to prevail in northern areas. To end the news, here are some of the headlines once again. Caretaker Prime Minister has reiterated government's firm resolve to wipe out menace of terrorism from the country. UN Security Council General has condemned terrorist attacks in Mastung and Hangu. Caretaker Minister for Health Services says the government is taking effective measures to control outbreak of viral diseases in the country. Pakistan won silver medal in squash event of 19 Asian Games at Hangzhou, China today. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/radio Pakistan News.